Hello and welcome to this video. So the goal of this video today is I want to give you a deeper understanding of how a Go program works. What is the structure of a Go program? I've seen so many tutorials out there that aim to explain or give a beginner a good understanding of Go, but what they end up doing is just telling you how to do A or B in Go without actually giving you a solid understanding of what you're writing as to why you need to write things a certain way and what happens when you run a Go command. So the goal of this video is for us to have a very good understanding of the structure of a Go program and what each of those statements you write in your Go program actually mean, and what some of the most popular Go commands that you're going to come across over and over again as you work with Go. So over here, I have a slide by my right, which I'm going to be using just as a guide for the various things we're going to be talking about in this video. So I'm just going to expand that a bit more so you can see much better. And then here as well, I'm just going to zoom in this window a bit so you can see the code. I think this should be good enough. So here by my right, what I have here is just a basic Go file. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be breaking down this simple main.go file. What is the main.go file? What each of these components in this file means? What are the popular or most commonly recurring commands you're going to use as you work with Go, and how Go actually works. So on the right here, we're going to start by talking about what Go is. Obviously, if you're watching this video, you know what Go is, but we're going to take a bit more look as to what Go is and how Go came about, just very briefly. And then we're going to look at how we can run a Go program. What does the package main mean? So in this main.go file, you see a package main. What does that mean? Now, this is just a simple Go file that prints out hi go first on the command line when you run the program. Then we're going to look at what the import statement here actually means. You see that in most Go programs. So we're going to look at what the function main actually means, and we're going to look at what the general structure of most Go programs you see will be. Okay, I'm just going to zoom in a bit more here to give more space. Okay, with that ready, let's get into it. So first of all, what is Go? Now, Go is an open source programming language that was developed at Google and is designed to be simple but yet powerful and very efficient, similar to low-level languages like C++, but then it's combined with the ease of use of higher-level languages like JavaScript or Python or Node, for example. And this is what makes Go a very unique language, because it's easy to use, but then it has all the power of low-level languages as well. Now let's get on to the next step, which is the installation of Go. Now, if you don't have Go installed, all you have to do is go to the Go website, go to your browser and hit golang.org/dl. And DL takes you to the download page where you can download Go. If you're on a Mac, you just need to download the package for your respective operating system. On Windows as well, you can do that. And on Linux as well, you can use the sudo apt-get install command to install Go. And if you're on a Mac, the easiest way is also to just use a brew install Go, and that's also going to give you Go installed. Now, if you're wondering why we have a /dl on this website, it's similar to most things in Go. There's a shortcut, or an abbreviation is what's used in referring to most things in Go, especially when it comes to naming variables, loops, and all of that. So if you already have Go installed on your machine, if you do Go version, you should be able to see the version of Go that you have installed. Here I'm using version 1.20, as you can see here. Okay, so now that we have Go installed, how do you run a Go program? Now here, all I've done before I started recording is to just create this simple file called main.go. So in your local terminal, you can go ahead as well and create a main.go file. Save it somewhere on your desktop or somewhere in some directory that you have access to. And then just make sure you navigate to that directory on your terminal. So here I'm in my Golang. So I have a directory called Golang. And in that Golang directory, I've created a file called main.go. Okay, so now I have a package, import, and a few commands here. So now, how do we run our Go program? In Go, there are different commands we can use to run a Go program. The first is simply for us to just do a go run main.go. If I run that, you can see it just print out hi go first to the CLI, which is what our program does, just to print this out. Then there are several other CLI commands that you use frequently as you work with Go. And here you have them. The first is the Go build command. Now you may say, okay, what's the Go build command, since we haven't seen that yet? Now the Go build command helps you compile a bunch of Go source code files into an executable file. So if I use the Go build command, so like in our simple Go program that we have here that just prints hi Gophers, now we can use the Go build command to compile our program into an executable file by using go build main.go. Now when you run that command, you can see it doesn't print out any outputs. That's because it has instead compiled our program into an executable. And if I do an ls, you can see I have a file, an executable here now called main. Okay, if I do an al, which is better, you can see I have an executable file here now, which is called main. Okay, and if you're on a Mac, you can simply run that file by just calling it from the terminal, the /main, and that should run the program. But you can see that runs our Go program, and we have the same output like we had when we ran our pre-compiled, our non-compiled or not compiled version of Go by using the go run main.go. Now, so just to recap, the go run compiles and immediately executes one or more source files. So when we use the go run main.go, it immediately compiles and runs our application, okay, and executes the program. While when we use the go build, it's more like a lazy version that builds the executable and keeps it for us, like we see in this case, and then we can decide to run our program at any time we want. Now, if you're on a Windows, you may have a .exe file, so you can also run that by calling the file name.exe. Next, we have the Go FMT. So this is short for Go format. So this is used to format a list of Go files that we have in our directory or that comprises of our program. So it formats all the code in each files in the current directory. And then you have the go install command, which compiles and installs a package. Then you have go get. Now go get is used to download raw source code of packages. Now if we go back to the Go website and we go to golang.org/pkg, you'll see Go has a lot of packages, and we're going to take a look at a bit of them shortly. Now all of these packages, you can install them or pull them locally to your local workstation using the go get command followed by the name of the package. And then we have the go test command. This is used to run tests for your Go programs that you have locally. Now next we're going to look at packages. Now we know how to run our program. Remember, we're trying to answer these 5 questions here, which is first of all how to run the Go program, and we have seen that by taking a look at the different Go CLI commands that are available. Next, we're going to take a look at what does the package main mean. So we're taking a look at packages. Now, packages in Go can be thought of as a project or a workspace. So a package can have many files inside of it. The only requirement is that the very first line of the files need to reference the package that they belong to. And in this case, we're creating a package called main.go. Okay, now I can create several other files in here. For example, I can create another one here called hello go, and I want it to be part of my main package. I can do that by spreading it across files. And to do that, all I have to do is create a package called main. I'll add it as part of my main package, and I can use import again if I want to create a package. And in this case, I can create I can create a function to do something. I'm going to call this function hello, and all it's going to do is print out hello. Now this package I just created is still part of my main.go package, because remember, you can have multiple files as part of the same package as long as they reference the same package name. Okay, so all files belonging to the same package must reference the same package name, like we've said. Now in Go, there are 2 different types of packages. You have reusable and you have executable packages. Now, executable packages are similar to what we just saw, which is with our compiled application here that we just ran. Now, why they're called executable packages is because we can compile them and we can run them at a later time, which is what the main.go is. In Go, how you define executable packages is by using the main.go. when you use the name main and you declare a main function in Go, what you're automatically saying by default is you want to create an executable package. So executable packages generate files that can be run. So like in our example, our main.go, we've seen created an executable for us that we can run at a later stage. While reusable packages are packages that we can include into some other existing packages, such as code dependencies or helpers that we want to add into our application. Like in this case, you can see we created a new package, even though this is part of the main. Now, if I create another package I can call this package hello, okay? Now this package is not an executable package, okay? And I can very quickly tell that this is not, because if I run a go build hello.go, you're gonna see this. Go build hello.go and I do an lsll. You can see I don't have a compiled version of my hello.go application here, right? Just like I had one for main.go, I don't have for hello.go. Now this is very important, and this is the difference between executable and reusable packages. Reusable packages are designed to be included into some other programs as dependencies or helpers that provide some sort of functionality, while executable packages can be compiled, like the case of our main.go here. When we ran go build main.go, it was compiled into an executable that we can run at a later date. So that's very important to understand as well. Now, how do we know we're creating a reusable or an executable package? Like I said earlier, it's mainly determined by the name of the package. If you create a package called main.go, you also need to have a function called main.go. Now that tells Go that you want to create an executable package. Any other name you use for your package, Go is going to assume that you're creating a reusable package, and Go doesn't spit out an executable for reusable packages. Okay, let's move on. The next thing we're going to be talking about are imports. Now, we've talked about the packages using a package main. Now you understand why we use the package main. Now imports FMT, what is this line doing? Now import statements in Go are used to give our package access to all the code or functionality that's inside of an imported package. So the FMT in this case is saying the name of the package that we want to import its functionality into our package, into our main package that we're building, is called FMT. Now FMT is a Go standard library or a Go standard package that is used to print out information to the terminal. Now we're saying we want to include that functionality into our application here. And that is why when we run our application, we go run main.go, the FMT package performs this function, because now we have the functionalities that are embedded in the FMT standard library, and we can use that to print the string hi go first to the terminal like we have here. So how does packages work, or how does imports work? Mainly you define imports for as many libraries as you want to import. There are several other packages in Go, like I said earlier. In here in the Go standard library page, you can see so many other packages here. Now any of these packages, we can easily import them into our Go program. This is the FMT package we just used. Okay, we can import OS, IO, and all of these packages have different functionalities that they bring in into your application. So to import several packages, you just need to add an import line here and the name of the package. Now in Go, if we want to import multiple packages, how we do that is by defining a brace here, okay, and then we define the name of the packages that we want to include. Now let's say I want the OS package. I'll just type that in here and close that. Okay, there are no commas or anything separating them, and this is a common syntax you'll see in Go as you learn Go. So that's how you import packages in Go. Now the next thing we're going to take a look at is functions. Okay, now we've taken a look at packages, at imports. Now we're going to take a look at functions. Here you can see we define a func main and then a block here that contains our code. So the func keyword is used to define a function in Go. It takes a function name, which in this case we're calling main. So in this case, we're telling Go we want to create a function called main, and in parentheses here, if we need to pass in arguments to a function, in Go you use the parentheses to pass in those arguments. And then you have a block here. Now the block here determines or defines what the function should do when it is called. So basic function in Go includes the keyword func, the name of the function, a set of arguments enclosed in our parentheses, and then also a block that defines what our function should do when it is called. So that's how you create functions in Go, and in this case we're creating a main function with no arguments, and we're saying when you call this block, which is what is called by default when an executable program runs in Go, it's gonna call this, and this block in here is saying just print out the string hi Gophers to the terminal when this program runs. Now that's mainly the structure of a Go program. Back to our main.go file here, a Go program mainly consists first of all with a package declaration, and that is what this package main here means. We're saying we want to create a package with the name main, package declaration, followed by a set of imports of libraries, either standard libraries or third-party libraries that we want to use in our application. And then we have the function declaration, which we use to create or declare functions that we want to use in our program. And then you can also create variables as well. We're not talking about variables in this video, but you can create variables as well in here using the var or the const keyword. And in a future video, we're going to take a look at that. So that's basically the structure of a Go program. Again, a Go program mainly consists of a package declaration at the top of the file. This has to be the first line of the file. Then you have a bunch of imports of standard libraries or third-party libraries that your program uses. And then you have functions and variable declarations that defines what your program actually does. So that's it for this video. I hope this has given you an in-depth understanding of what a main.go file actually is. And the next time you see a main.go file, you can easily understand how that file is structured and what the different components of that file really means. And in most Go programs out there, you're going to see they're going to be structured this way, where you have a package declaration at the top, your imports, and then your function declarations. Now, if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be putting out more videos that further goes into details on the different sections of Go. So if you don't want to miss that, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.